Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about why Jonathan Taylor is going to be a dominant force for the rest of the year. First off, I think it's a bit unfortunate that Anthony Richardson got hurt because he was a dominant force as well, and I think that him and Jonathan Taylor actually could have benefited one another. But with that being said, with no Anthony Richardson, they're going to be forced to rely on Jonathan Taylor. I'm not completely knocking Gardner Minshew at quarterback. He just does not seem much above average to me. And that Colts offense has a lot of potential, and I really think their ceiling is a lot lower with him. He looked fairly decent the first few games, but the last game he turned the ball over 4 times. He threw 3 picks and had a fumble as well. And as a professional, you can't be turning the ball over 4 times. So that raises a lot of concern for how consistent can this guy really be. From a fantasy football perspective, you want Jonathan Taylor on your team. You've seen an increase in Taylor's volume every game, and last game he finally had a fair split of touches with Zach Moss. And towards the end of the season, I could see it being 80-20 Taylor's backfield. If you don't already have Jonathan Taylor rostered, now is the perfect time to make a play for him. He had 4 fantasy points last week and 11 fantasy points this week. And if you don't have him on your roster, then odds are the guy who has him has been holding him for the last 7 weeks, just nice and cozy. And now it's a beautiful time to make a trade for him. If you don't get him this week, then even go for him again next week because odds are he's not going to have the craziest game this week against the Browns. The Browns this year have the most horrifying defense that the league has seen. They are first in pass yards allowed and third in rush yards allowed. They only average 200 yards allowed per game, which is insane. Of course, they're first in that category, and the second team allows 260 yards, which is the Baltimore Ravens. So you can't expect an insane week out of Taylor, but who knows for sure. Why do I have so much faith in this guy? Well, he got a 3-year, $42 million extension with $26.5 million guaranteed, and that makes him the third highest paid running back, right behind McCaffrey and Kamara. So what does all that money tell me? So he makes a massive deal about not getting paid enough, and then they choose to pay him after all the nonsense. So what does that really mean for the Colts front office? In my opinion, that means they're mature enough to put it past them, and they gave him this money because they trust him. Ultimately, they're going to utilize him at a high level because you don't just go and pay somebody $14 million on average a year just to not use them. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do have faith in this guy. I think he's going to have another breakout year, just like the menace he was when he was a rookie.